A life interrupted. Maya finished her shift at the downtown bistro at 11 at night, just as always. Her feet ached after 8 hours of running between tables, but she had no other choice. The tips from this job paid for her nursing studies. As she walked toward the bus stop, she counted the coins in her apron, barely enough for the fare and a few groceries. The city square was nearly deserted at that hour. Only a few couples lingered on benches, and street vendors were packing up their stalls. The cold of a late December night made her pull her worn jacket tighter against her body. It was then that she heard the cry. At first, she thought it was a stray cat, but as she got closer to a secluded bench, she found a small bundle wrapped in a pink blanket. Her heart stopped for a moment. It was a baby. She couldn't have been more than 3 months old. "Help! Is anyone here?" Maya called out, looking in every direction. No one answered. With trembling hands, she picked up the baby. The infant was freezing cold. "It's okay, little one. Everything is going to be all right," she whispered as the baby's tiny hand wrapped around her finger. The police officer, who arrived minutes later, listened to her with a skeptical look. "You say you just found her here? You didn't see anyone?" At the precinct, while they waited for social services, Maya watched the baby sleep. What kind of person abandons a child like this? "Ms. Torres," an elegantly dressed social worker called out, a leather briefcase tucked under her arm. "I'm Ms. Thompson. I need you to tell me exactly how you found the minor." Maya looked down at her own uniform, stained with sauce, and felt the weight of the differences between them. But something inside her rebelled when Ms. Thompson mentioned temporary homes and the adoption system. "I could take care of her." The words came out of her mouth before she could even think. Ms. Thompson peered at her over her glasses. "Do you have any idea of the requirements for adoption? You would need to demonstrate economic stability, a steady job, and a suitable home." "I'll work more shifts," Maya interrupted. "I'll study less if I have to, but I can't just let her go." The baby stirred in her arms and opened her eyes, large and dark, just like Maya's. In that moment, Maya knew her life was about to change forever. The battle for a family. "I'm sorry, Ms. Torres, but your application has been rejected," the social worker said, sliding the papers across the desk. "Your income is not sufficient." "Please," Maya insisted, holding back tears. "I've been saving for 3 months. I left the restaurant and got a better job at the pharmacy. I'm taking fewer classes so I can—" "I understand your effort, but the regulations are clear," Ms. Thompson interrupted. Maya clenched her fists under the table. Over the past months, she had visited Lily, the name she had given her, 3 times a week at the temporary home. The baby already recognized her. She would smile every time she saw her. "What else do I need to do?" she asked, straightening up in her chair. The social worker sighed. "You need a stable income that can cover the child's expenses, a larger place to live, and you need to demonstrate that you can maintain a suitable family environment." That night, Maya didn't sleep. She called her Aunt Carmen, who owned a small rental apartment. "I'll give it to you for cheaper," her aunt offered after hearing the story, "and I can be your guarantor." Over the next few weeks, Maya lived on a thin thread of energy. She worked double shifts at the pharmacy, studied in her free time, and dedicated every available moment to fixing up the new apartment. She painted the walls, found second-hand furniture, and prepared a small room for Lily. "You've made a lot of progress," the social worker admitted during her next visit. "But you still need to demonstrate stability for at least 3 more months." They were the longest 3 months of her life. Maya documented everything: her work schedule, her grades, her savings. Every visit with Lily was recorded in photos and reports. The baby was already crawling, and her laughter filled the temporary home's visiting room. Finally, the day of the last evaluation arrived. "Your case is unusual," the adoption department supervisor commented, reviewing the file. It's not common for such a young single woman to qualify for adoption. Maya held her breath. But you've shown exceptional dedication. Your references are excellent. You've created a suitable environment for the child. And most importantly, you've established a significant bond with her. Tears began to run down Maya's cheeks. Congratulations, the supervisor smiled, extending some documents. You are officially Lily's adoptive mother. 2 hours later, Maya walked through the door of her apartment with Lily in her arms. The baby looked at everything with curiosity, gripping her new mother's collar tightly. "Welcome home, my love," Maya whispered, kissing her forehead. "I promise I will always take care of you, no matter what." "Mama!" Lily babbled from her playpen, extending her little arms toward Maya. "What did you say, my love?" Maya dropped her work bag and ran to hug her daughter. "Did you call me Mama?" The little one let out a giggle and repeated, "Mama!" Maya hugged her daughter, holding back tears of pure joy. A father's return. 6 months later, the routine was exhausting, but deeply rewarding. She woke up at 5 in the morning, prepared breakfast and the diaper bag. She dropped Lily off with Mrs. Garcia, the neighbor who cared for children, and rushed to her shift at the pharmacy. "I brought you something special," Maya smiled, pulling a small plush toy from her bag. The bear had been on sale, but to her, it represented a luxury. This month, she would barely have enough for rent. The girl hugged the stuffed animal with enthusiasm, while Maya reviewed the accounts at the kitchen table. The cost of diapers was increasing, and the special formula Lily needed was not cheap. Her savings were running out. "I need another job," she murmured to herself. The doorbell rang. It was Mrs. Garcia. "Honey, I've come to bring you this," the woman said, handing her a container of chicken soup. "You look too thin, and you need strength to care for this little angel." Maya thanked her with a hug. Since she had moved in, the neighbors had become her family. Mr. Jones, the plumber from the 3rd floor, fixed her leaks for free. Mrs. Evans gave her clothes that her granddaughters no longer wore. "How are you doing with your classes?" Mrs. Garcia asked, while Lily crawled toward her. "I've paused them for a while," Maya admitted. "I can't do it all right now." "Don't give up on your dreams, honey. You'll see that everything will work out." That night, after putting Lily to bed, Maya took out her nursing books. Although she was exhausted, she studied for an hour. Her daughter deserved a mother who was prepared, someone who could give her a better future. "Your mom is going to be a nurse," she whispered, peeking into the crib where Lily was sleeping peacefully. "And we're going to have a better life, I promise you." The small apartment was not luxurious, but it was filled with love. The walls, decorated with drawings and photos, told the story of their small family. On the shelf, next to the bottles, rested the framed adoption papers, her most treasured possession. Maya lay down, listening to her daughter's soft breathing through the monitor. Tomorrow would be another day of struggle, but every sacrifice was worth it to watch her little Lily grow. "Happy birthday, my love," Maya sang, as Lily tried to blow out the 2 candles on her cake. The neighbors applauded, and the little girl laughed, her face smeared with frosting. The doorbell rang. "That must be Aunt Carmen," Maya said, wiping her hands on her apron. But when she opened the door, it wasn't her aunt waiting on the other side. A tall man, dressed in a dark suit, was staring at her. "Ms. Mariana Torres?" he asked in a serious voice. "Yes, who are you?" "My name is Alex Vance," he replied, pulling some documents from his briefcase. "I need to talk to you about Lily." Maya felt the floor move under her feet. "What do you want with my daughter?" "May I come in? It's a delicate matter." The neighbors, sensing the tension, began to say their goodbyes. Mrs. Garcia offered to take Lily to her apartment to play with her grandchildren. Once they were alone, Alex spread the papers on the kitchen table. 2 years ago, my wife disappeared with our newborn daughter. I've been looking for them ever since. I don't understand what that has to do with Lily, Maya replied, though a cold fear was beginning to grow in her chest. The dates match. The place where you found Lily is on the route my wife took when she fled. And this? He pointed to a photograph. It's my wife, Laura, on the day she gave birth. Maya looked at the photo. The woman was holding a baby wrapped in a pink blanket, identical to the one Lily was wearing the day she found her. No, Maya whispered, stepping back. It must be a coincidence. I have proof, Ms. Torres. Birth certificates, police reports. It's all here. His voice broke slightly. That little girl, Lily, is my daughter. No, Lily is my daughter, Maya exclaimed. I have the adoption papers. Everything is legal. Based on abandonment, Alex interrupted. But I never abandoned my daughter. She was taken from me. The sound of children's laughter filtered from the hallway. Maya looked toward the door, thinking of her little girl playing innocently on the other side. Please, she pleaded. Lily is my whole life. And she is my daughter, Alex replied, standing up. I just want to meet her, for now. The implicit threat in his last words made Maya shudder. The perfect life she had built for 2 years was beginning to fall apart before her eyes. A new kind of war. I need to see those documents again, Maya demanded, sitting in the cafe across from Alex. It was their 3rd meeting in a week. I've shown you everything, he replied, running a hand through his perfectly combed hair. The birth certificate, the police reports, the witness statements. And why did it take you 2 years to find her? Do you think I didn't look? Alex's voice rose, drawing stares from other patrons. He lowered his tone before continuing. I hired private investigators. I contacted police in 5 states. I followed every possible lead. Maya stirred her cold coffee. Tell me about your wife. Laura, Alex sighed. We met in college. Everything seemed perfect until she got pregnant. Then she started acting strange, paranoid. She said someone was following her. And wasn't it true? I thought it was postpartum depression. I sought help for her, but one day she just disappeared with the baby. Maya remembered the pink blanket, the cold of that night in the square. Why would she abandon her? I don't know, Alex admitted. And for the first time, Maya saw true pain in his eyes. But I need to meet my daughter, please. Lily is very sensitive around strangers. I'm not a stranger. I'm her father. You are a stranger to her, Maya cut in. And I'm not going to let you scare her. They looked at each other in silence, evaluating one another. Finally, Maya spoke. We can do this gradually. First, you watch her from a distance, at the park where she plays. If everything goes well, we can plan a casual meeting. And after that? After that, we'll see how she reacts. Alex nodded slowly. This Sunday at the park? At 10. She'll be on the swings. Maya stood up, grabbing her bag. But I'm warning you, if I see this affects her negatively, it's over. You can't stop me from seeing my daughter. Look at me, Maya replied, leaning over the table. I've fought for her since day one. I'm not going to let anyone hurt her, not even her biological father. She left, leaving Alex speechless. As she walked home, the tears she had held back began to fall. How could she explain to a 2-year-old that the man who had never been in her life was her father? How could she protect Lily without denying her the truth about her origins? That night, as she tucked her daughter in, Maya hugged her tighter than ever. I love you, my girl, she whispered, knowing that her small world of 2 would soon begin to change. It's her, Alex whispered, sitting on a park bench 20 yards away. Lily laughed as Maya pushed her on the swing. His hands trembled as he held the coffee he had bought as an excuse to be there. 2 years of searching, and now his daughter was so close he could hear her laughter. She had the same hair color as Laura, black and shiny. "Higher, Mommy!" Lily shouted, and every time she said Mommy, it was like a dagger in Alex's chest. He wondered how many first words he had missed, how many first steps he hadn't seen. The day Laura disappeared with the baby, a part of him died. Now, seeing his daughter so happy with another person, he didn't know whether to feel grateful or devastated. "Let's go to the playground, Mommy." Lily pulled Maya toward the slide area. Alex followed them with his gaze. He had to admit that Maya was a good mother. You could see it in the way she protected Lily without suffocating her, how she responded to every call with patience, how she looked at her with a love so pure it hurt. A child ran past Lily and startled her. When she started to cry, Alex's instinct was to get up and comfort her, but he held back. Maya was already there, hugging her, whispering sweet words until the little girl smiled again. "It's my turn now," he murmured to himself. "I have to make up for lost time." But as he watched his daughter play, a doubt began to grow in his mind. Did he really have the right to interrupt this life that seemed so perfect? Lily was happy, well cared for, loved. A message came to his phone. It was from his private investigator. "We've found new information on Laura." Alex put the phone away without responding. Today, he didn't want to think about Laura, about her lies, about her betrayal. Today, he only wanted to memorize every gesture of his daughter, every smile, every movement. "Look, Mommy, I'm a butterfly," Lily shouted, spreading her arms as she ran. "The most beautiful butterfly in the world," Maya replied, following her with a smile. Alex wiped away a tear, took out his phone, and discreetly took a photo of Lily. The first photo of his daughter in 2 years. In it, the little girl was smiling with all the innocence in the world, oblivious to the whirlwind of emotions she was causing in the adults around her. "You're going to know who I am," he promised silently. "And I'm going to be the father you deserve, even if I have to start from scratch." "It's a simple procedure," the doctor explained, showing the test kit. "We just need a saliva swab from each of you." Maya held Lily in her arms, while Alex stood by the office window. After weeks of arguments, they had finally agreed to do the test. "Is it going to hurt?" Maya asked, more for herself than for Lily. "Not at all," the doctor smiled. "It's like a soft brush. Lily, do you want to see? It looks like a magic cotton swab." The girl, curious, watched the swab. The doctor performed a small trick, making it disappear and reappear behind her ear, earning a giggle from Lily. "Do you want me to touch your cheek with the magic stick?" Lily nodded, and the doctor took the sample gently. "Very good. You are very brave." Alex was next. As the doctor took his sample, he couldn't stop looking at Lily, who was now playing with a stuffed animal that Maya had brought. "The results will be ready in a week," the doctor said. "To what address would you prefer me to send them?" "To mine," Maya and Alex said at the same time. They looked at each other, tense. Finally, Alex gave in. "You can send them to her address, but I want to be present when you open them." The next 7 days were torture. Maya barely slept, imagining 1,000 different scenarios. What would happen if Alex really was the father? Could he take Lily away from her? Alex, for his part, immersed himself in work, trying not to think about the envelope that would decide his future. At night, he looked at the photo of Lily in the park again and again, looking for similarities with his face. The day the envelope arrived, Maya called Alex. Half an hour later, they were sitting in the small living room of the apartment, staring at the sealed envelope on the table. "You open it," Maya said, her voice trembling. Alex took the envelope with sweaty hands. The paper crinkled as he opened it. His eyes scanned the document, stopping at the final line. "Positive," he whispered. 99.9% probability. She's my daughter." Maya closed her eyes, holding back tears. Although she had already suspected it, the confirmation was like a punch to the stomach. From her room, Lily's voice called out, "Mommy?" "I'm coming, my love," Maya replied, standing up. Before going to her daughter, she looked at Alex. "This doesn't change anything. She is still my daughter." "No," Alex replied, putting the result back in his briefcase. "This changes everything. A family built on trust." "What are you going to do?" Maya asked, sitting in her small kitchen across from Alex. It was midnight, and Lily was sleeping in the next room. "I have rights," he replied, running a hand over his tired face. "The DNA test confirms it. I also have rights," Maya countered. "The adoption was legal, based on an abandonment that I never authorized." Her voice rose slightly before she controlled herself, aware of not waking Lily. "Laura had no right to abandon her." The heavy silence was interrupted by the sound of the refrigerator. Maya got up to pour more coffee. She needed to stay strong. "I've contacted my lawyers," Alex continued. "They say I have a solid case to regain custody." The coffee spilled when Maya's hand trembled. "Custody? You want to take her from me?" "I want to give her the life she deserves," he replied. "I have the resources to." "The life she deserves," Maya interrupted, turning to face him. "Do you think money is all she needs? What about the love, the stability, the 2 years I've been with her day and night?" "I can give her love too," Alex replied, but his voice betrayed a note of doubt. "You don't even know her," Maya whispered. "You don't know that she's afraid of thunder, that her favorite color is yellow, that she can't sleep without her stuffed elephant. You don't know that when she's sad, she only calms down if you sing happy birthday to her, even if it's not her birthday." Alex fell silent. Each word was like a dagger reminding him of everything he had missed. "I know I'm her father," he said finally, "and I know I can learn all those things. At the cost of traumatizing her, of ripping her from the only home she's ever known." From the room, a small whimper was heard. They both held their breath, but Lily was just getting comfortable in her dreams. "There's another option," Alex suggested after a moment. "We could reach an agreement, establish regular visits, so you can take her away from me when you've gained her trust." "I'm not the villain here, Maya," he replied, standing up. "I'm just a father who wants his daughter back, and I'm a mother who would do anything to protect hers." They stared at each other, two people united by their love for the same child, separated by the fear of losing her. The battle was just beginning, and they both knew there would be no real winners in this war. "Mr. Vance, we've found your wife." The private investigator's voice sounded tense over the phone. Alex, sitting in his office, straightened up abruptly. "Where is she?" "She's dead, sir. They found her 3 months ago at the U.S. border. She was apparently involved in a human trafficking ring." The news hit Alex like a punch to the stomach. Human trafficking. According to the police reports, his wife worked for a criminal organization. She used her social position to recruit women with false promises of work. Alex immediately called Maya. An hour later, they met at a cafe far from the city center. "Laura was part of a criminal network," he explained in a broken voice, sliding the documents onto the table. "Apparently, when she got pregnant, she wanted to get out. But these organizations don't let anyone just leave." Maya reviewed the papers with trembling hands. Is that why she abandoned Lily? They were probably chasing her. Laura was a desperate mother who believed that leaving Lily in a public place would increase her chances of being found by someone compassionate. Maybe she knew she couldn't protect her if she kept running. "At the plaza," Maya completed. remembering that cold night where she had found her. Laura was found dead 3 months ago, shot. Maya covered her mouth with her hands. Despite everything, she was Lily's biological mother. "What are we going to do?" she asked after a moment. "How will we explain this to Lily when she's older?" "I don't know," Alex admitted. "But now I understand why Laura acted so strange during her pregnancy. The mysterious calls, her disappearances. I was an idiot for not seeing the signs. It wasn't your fault," Maya said softly. It was the first time she felt true compassion for him. "I need time." Alex stood up abruptly. "I need to process all this." "Alex," Maya called before he left. "This doesn't change anything about Lily. She still needs stability." He nodded without turning back and left the cafe with heavy steps. That night, as Maya tucked Lily in, the girl asked her, "Why are you sad, Mommy?" "I'm not sad, my love," Maya lied, hugging her tightly. "I was just thinking about how much I love you." "I love you too," Lily replied, snuggling against her. Maya stayed awake for a long time, thinking about Laura, about the desperate decisions she had made, about the price she had paid. Had Lily's abandonment been her last act of love, a final attempt to protect her daughter? The truth was more complicated and painful than anyone had imagined, and its shadows threatened to reach the present that they had so painstakingly built, the path to peace. "Your Honor, my client has legitimate rights to the minor," Alex's lawyer argued in front of the judge. As the biological father, he never relinquished custody of his daughter. Maya clenched her fists on her skirt, the only formal one she owned. Beside her, her pro bono lawyer adjusted his glasses before standing up. "Ms. Torres has been the only mother the child has ever known. The adoption was carried out following all established legal protocols." The judge looked at the documents scattered on his desk. "The father was not notified of the adoption process?" "It was not possible to locate him at that time, Your Honor," Maya's lawyer replied. "All necessary efforts were made. My client was actively searching for his daughter," Alex's lawyer countered. "We have evidence of the reports filed in multiple states." While the lawyers debated, Maya glanced at Alex. Since the discovery about Laura, something had changed in him. His eyes showed a new hardness, as if he wanted to compensate for 2 years of absence with pure determination. "Mr. Vance," the judge called out, "are you requesting full custody?" "Yes, Your Honor," Alex replied, standing up. "I can provide a stable environment, a top-quality education, private medical care." "You can't buy a child's love," Maya interrupted, unable to contain herself. "Order!" The judge slammed his gavel. "Ms. Torres, control yourself, or I'll have to have you removed from the courtroom." Maya sank into her seat, tears threatening to ruin her scarce makeup. "Your Honor," Alex's lawyer continued, "my client is willing to be generous. He would allow for supervised visits." "Generous?" Maya whispered, so low that only her lawyer heard her. The judge raised a hand, silencing everyone. "This is a complex case that requires a comprehensive evaluation. I order a socioeconomic study of both households and a psychological evaluation of the minor." "Psychological evaluation?" Maya's voice trembled. "But she's only 2 years old. It is necessary to determine the impact that any change could have on her development," the judge explained. "In the meantime, custody remains with the adoptive mother, and supervised visits with the biological father will be established twice a week." Alex smiled triumphantly. It was more than he expected to get at this first hearing. Maya left the room feeling like the world was crumbling around her. In a few weeks, strangers would enter her life to judge if she was good enough to continue being her own daughter's mother. "Who is that man, Mommy?" Lily asked, hiding behind Maya's legs, as she watched Alex approach the playground. It was their first supervised visit. The social worker, sitting on a nearby bench, took notes in her notebook. "He's a friend who wants to meet you," Maya replied, swallowing the lump in her throat. Alex approached with a huge gift box. "Hello, Lily. I brought you something special." The girl clung tighter to Maya, but her eyes lit up when she saw the gift. "What do you say, my love?" Maya whispered. "Thank you," Lily murmured, without leaving her safe spot. Alex placed the box on the ground and opened it, revealing a dollhouse that probably cost more than Maya's monthly rent. "Would you like to play with it?" he asked, keeping his distance so as not to scare her. Lily looked at her mother, seeking approval. With a knot in her stomach, Maya nodded. The next hour passed slowly. Lily played with the dollhouse, occasionally allowing Alex to move a piece of furniture or a doll, but always keeping her distance. "Mommy, you play too?" Lily asked. "The adults need to talk for a moment," the social worker intervened. "Why don't you continue playing with Mr. Alex?" "I don't want to," Lily replied, leaving the toys and running toward Maya. "I want to go home, Mommy." Alex clenched his fists, frustrated. All his attempts to get closer were rejected. "You heard the girl," Maya said, lifting Lily into her arms. The social worker watched intently, taking detailed notes on every interaction. "We will evaluate how this dynamic affects the child," she noted, suggesting that this report would influence the judge's final decision. "I don't want to," Lily screamed when Maya tried to put her down. "I want to go with Mommy." "I'm here, my love," Maya whispered, gently rocking her daughter, who was starting to cry. Alex watched the scene, feeling more and more like an intruder. All his money, his gifts, his attempts at connection. Nothing worked against the unbreakable bond between Maya and Lily. "Maybe we should end for today," he suggested, picking up the abandoned dollhouse. The social worker frowned but nodded, making one last note in her notebook. As Maya walked away with Lily in her arms, the girl looked over her mother's shoulder and said the words that pierced Alex's heart. "Mommy, let's go home." Alex was left alone in the park, holding the expensive dollhouse that had failed to buy his daughter's love. For the first time, he began to wonder if he was doing the right thing. "We have to talk," Alex said, waiting for Maya outside the pharmacy where she worked. "It's important." Maya looked at her watch. "I have 15 minutes before I pick up Lily from daycare." They walked to a small nearby cafe. Alex ordered a black coffee. Maya just water. "I've been thinking," he began, "and I have a proposal." "I'm listening." "I have a house in Polanco. It's big, with a garden, close to the best schools. You and Lily could move there." Maya almost choked on her water. "What?" "Think about it," Alex continued, leaning forward. "Lily would have her own room, a garden to play in. You could quit your job, focus on your studies, and live under your roof, like your employee, not as the mother of my daughter. Lily needs you, that's obvious, but she also deserves the opportunities that I can give her. And what happens when you meet someone, when you decide to start your own family? This isn't about me," Alex replied. "It's about Lily." Maya let out a bitter laugh. "Do you really think moving into your house will solve everything? That money can buy a family?" "At least I would be close to her," he insisted. "I could watch her grow up, be a part of her life. And what about my life? My independence? My dignity? I'm offering a better life for both of you." "No." Maya stood up, grabbing her bag. "You're offering me a gilded cage. I prefer my small apartment, where Lily and I are free." "Maya, please, do you know why Lily is happy?" She interrupted him. "Because she has emotional stability, because she knows that her home, although small, is safe. She doesn't need a mansion. She needs peace. The lawyers say I have a good chance of winning custody, Alex warned. And then what? Are you going to rip a 2-year-old from her mother's arms just because you can? The silence that followed was deafening. I have to pick up my daughter, Maya said finally, walking toward the door. Our daughter, Alex corrected. Maya stopped without turning back. If you really cared about Lily, you would think about what's best for her, not what's most convenient for you. She left Alex alone in the cafe, surrounded by the crumbs of his rejected proposal and the weight of a truth he was beginning to understand. The path to peace. "Daddy!" a child shouted, running toward his father in the park. Lily, playing nearby, stopped and watched the scene. Alex, sitting on his usual bench during the supervised visit, noticed how his daughter was curiously observing the interaction between father and son. "Mommy!" Lily called, running toward Maya. "What is a daddy?" The silence fell like a lead weight. The social worker stopped writing. Maya held her breath, and Alex felt his heart stop. "A daddy is—" Maya began. But Lily was already distracted by another thing. "Mommy, look at the butterfly!" she exclaimed, running after the insect, completely forgetting her previous question. Alex stood up abruptly. "I need a moment," he murmured, walking away toward the trees. The social worker made a note in her notebook, but for the first time her expression showed compassion instead of judgment. Minutes later, Maya found Alex sitting on a secluded bench, his head in his hands. To her, "I'm just the man who brings gifts," he said without looking up. "She's so small, she doesn't even know what a father is," he continued, "and I want to rip her from the only parent she's ever known, which is you." Maya sat beside him, keeping a cautious distance. The children ask when they're ready to understand. What if she's never ready? What if I just traumatize her more with this legal battle? From the playground, Lily's laughter was clear and happy. She was playing with other children, completely oblivious to the drama unfolding between the adults. "You know what?" Alex said after a long silence. "When Laura left with her, I promised myself that if I found them, I would never let myself be separated from my daughter again. And now, for weeks, I've watched how Lily feels safe with Maya. I've tried to win her trust, but every rejection made me understand that forcing this bond won't help. Maybe the best way to be her father is not to destroy the only stable thing she has in her life." Maya felt tears well up in her eyes. "She needs a father, Alex. She just needs time to understand, to accept." "Time," he repeated, watching Lily play. No more legal pressure. No more trying to buy her love with expensive gifts. Just time, Maya confirmed, and patience. For the first time since they met, they shared a look of mutual understanding. They were not adversaries in a legal battle, but two people who loved the same child, each in their own way. "Mommy," Lily called from the swings, "come push me." "Go," Alex said softly. "Your daughter needs you." "Our daughter," Maya corrected. And this time, the words didn't sound like a threat, but like a promise. "I'm withdrawing the custody lawsuit," Alex announced in his lawyer's office. "Are you sure, Mr. Vance? We have a solid case. The odds of winning are—" "It's not about winning," Alex interrupted. "It's about doing what's right for my daughter." The lawyer sighed, pulling the case documents from the file. "Do you want me to prepare a visitation agreement?" "Yes, but on Maya's terms. No pressure, no forced schedules." An hour later, Alex was sitting across from Maya in the same cafe where they had argued so many times. "Why?" she asked after reading the papers. "I saw her at the park yesterday," he replied, stirring his coffee. "She was playing with a new girl. The girl was crying because she missed her mom, and Lily hugged her and said, 'Don't cry. Mommy's always come back.'" Maya smiled softly, imagining the scene. I realized, Alex continued, that I was so obsessed with being her father that I didn't see the harm I could do to her. I can't rip her from the only life she knows. And your rights as a father? What good are rights if they destroy my daughter's happiness? He replied. Laura, she made terrible decisions, but in the end, she did the only good thing she could. She left Lily where she knew you would find her. What do you propose then? Let Lily set the pace. No pressure, no forced visits. I want to win her affection, not her fear. Maya read the papers again. There were no restrictive clauses, no veiled threats, just a simple agreement for voluntary visits. Anything else? Alex added, pulling out an envelope. I've set up a trust for Lily, for her education, her future. It's not an obligation. It's a right she has as my daughter. Alex, it's not a bribe, Maya. It's what any father would do for his daughter. I'm not buying time with her. I'm just securing her future. For the first time since they met, Maya saw in Alex not the powerful businessman who wanted to take her daughter away, but a father learning to love in the right way. Lily asked about you yesterday, she said softly. She wanted to know if you would bring more stories to read. Alex's eyes lit up. Really? She especially likes the warrior princesses. Maya smiled. She says they're more fun than the princesses who just wait to be rescued. Just like her mother, Alex replied. And this time, the compliment was sincere. Outside, the city continued its frantic pace, oblivious to the moment of peace that had been established in that small cafe, where two people finally found a way to be the parents their daughter needed. Is Mr. Alex coming today? Lily asked, as Maya braided her hair. Yes, my love. He said he would bring a new warrior princess book. 3 months had passed since Alex withdrew the custody lawsuit. The visits, now voluntary, had become moments Lily looked forward to. She was slowly beginning to open up to the presence of this new friend in her life. Can I wear my crown? The girl asked, pointing to the plastic accessory Alex had given her on his last visit. Of course, warrior princess. At the park, Alex was already waiting for them on the usual bench, but this time without ostentatious gifts, just a colorful book under his arm. I brought my crown, Lily announced, running toward him with more confidence than ever. You look very brave, Alex replied, holding back the impulse to hug her. He had learned that gestures of affection had to come from her. Maya sat on a nearby bench, watching them. Alex opened the book and began to read, making different voices for each character. Lily laughed, completely captivated by the story. Mommy, come here, Lily called. Mr. Alex reads so funny. Over the next hour, the three of them shared stories and laughter. There was no social worker taking notes, no tension in the air. Just a little girl enjoying the attention of two adults who loved her. Mr. Alex, Lily said suddenly, why do you come to see us? Alex looked at Maya, who nodded slightly. Because you're very important to me, he replied in a soft voice. And I like spending time with you and your mom. Like a friend? Yes, like a very special friend. Lily seemed satisfied with the answer, and went back to concentrating on the book. It was enough for now. Later, while Lily played on the swings, Maya and Alex talked. You're doing well, she said. She asks about you when you don't come. Really? He smiled, his eyes shining. Yes, yesterday she said your stories are almost as good as mine. They both laughed, a sound that would have seemed impossible months ago. Thank you. Thank you, Alex said, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for understanding, Maya replied, for putting Lily first. Mommy, Mr. Alex, Lily called from the swings. Can we go get ice cream? They looked at each other and smiled. It wasn't a traditional family, but it worked. Step by step, day by day, they were building something new, something fragile, but beautiful. Ice cream? Maya asked. Ice cream, Alex confirmed. And so, the three of them walked together toward the ice cream shop, united by their love for a little warrior princess who, without knowing it, had achieved the impossible, creating peace where there had only been war. Ready for your first day of kindergarten? Maya asked, adjusting Lily's new backpack. Yes, the little girl exclaimed, jumping with excitement. Is Mr. Alex coming too? I'm here, a voice replied from the door. Alex entered the apartment, camera in hand. I wouldn't miss this day for anything. 6 more months had passed. The routine had been established naturally. Alex visited Lily 3 times a week, participated in important events, and had slowly become a constant and welcome presence in their lives. Do you remember what we practiced? He asked as they walked toward the school. Yes, my name is Lily. I'm 3 years old, and my favorite color is yellow, the girl recited proudly. Maya and Alex exchanged looks of pride. It wasn't a perfect situation, but it worked. He had learned to respect the boundaries, and she had learned to share the special moments. At the kindergarten door, Lily hugged Maya first. I love you, Mommy. Then, to everyone's surprise, she walked over to Alex and hugged him too. Thanks for coming, Mr. Alex. He had to blink several times to hold back tears. As they watched Lily go into the classroom, Maya noticed that Alex was still emotional. It's the first time she's hugged me, he whispered. Give her time, she replied. Every day she trusts you more. Do you think one day... He left the question hanging in the air. She'll call you Dad? Maya completed. When she's ready. We can't force it. Alex nodded. I know, and that's okay. This is more than I expected a year ago. They began to walk together toward the exit. They were no longer enemies, not even awkward strangers. They had become something like friends, united by their love for a little girl who had changed their lives. Coffee, he offered, pointing to the cafe on the corner. I have to go to work, Maya replied, but she smiled. But thanks. I'll see you on Thursday for swimming class. I wouldn't miss it, Alex confirmed. And Maya, thank you for everything. She nodded and walked away toward the bus stop. Alex watched her leave, thinking about how much things had changed. It wasn't the family he had imagined getting back. It was something different, something new. And as he got into his car, he remembered Lily's words from last week. I like it when we're all together. Maybe that was the real victory, not winning a legal battle, but winning his daughter's heart, step by step, day by day, respecting her time and her space. And for the first time in a long time, Alex felt that he was finally on the right path. And then what happened after? Lily, now 5, asked, sitting between Maya and Alex on the living room couch. Well, the warrior princess decided she could have 2 kingdoms, Alex replied, closing the storybook. One with her mommy and one with her daddy, and everyone lived happily ever after. Lily thought for a moment, playing with her crown, the same one Alex had given her 2 years ago. Like me? She said finally. Maya and Alex exchanged surprised looks. Like you, my love? Maya asked softly. Yes, I have my house with Mommy, and I can visit Dad's house, Lily said, pronouncing the last word carefully, as if trying it out for the first time. Alex held his breath. It was the first time Lily had called him that. Is it okay if I call you Dad? The girl asked, looking at him with her big dark eyes. It's more than okay, princess, he replied, his voice trembling. Maya discreetly wiped away a tear. After 3 years, the circle was finally closing, not in the way either of them had expected, but in a better, more natural way. "Can we read another story?" Lily asked, snuggling between them. "One where the warrior princess has more adventures." "Of course," Maya replied. "But first, how about Daddy makes us some hot chocolate?" "Yes," Lily exclaimed, jumping off the couch. "Can I help?" "Of course," Alex smiled, taking her small hand. As she watched them walk toward the kitchen, Maya thought about the long road they had traveled. The legal battle seemed so distant now, replaced by afternoons of stories, swimming lessons, and park visits. They weren't a traditional family. They didn't all live under the same roof, nor did they follow conventional rules. But it worked. It worked because they had learned to put their love for Lily above their own fears and expectations. "Mommy, come here," Lily called from the kitchen. "Daddy's making shapes with the whipped cream." Maya got up and walked toward them, toward this strange and perfect family they had built together. A family born not of blood or law, but of love, patience, and the willingness to let love find its own way. Interactive questions. What does the detail about Lily's warrior princess books symbolize in her story? Do you think Maya's actions were justified? Or do you think she should have been more open to Alex from the start? What do you think is the biggest lesson that both Maya and Alex learned throughout their journey? Calls to action. If this story moved you, please give it a like and share it with someone who needs a reminder about the power of love and perseverance. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on how Maya and Alex's relationship evolved. Subscribe for more heartfelt stories that explore the true meaning of family.